Well, hello, and welcome back to Neptunifish Tarot. My name is Alicia, and we are here to do a reading for Thursday, March 4th, 2021. So, yeah, thank you for coming back. If you are returning, I very much appreciate it. If this is your first time, welcome. Um, we are going to do what appears to be uh, a very spiritual reading today, a pretty deep reading, actually. Um, though the message is not complicated. Pretty much all the cards on the table point to one singular theme. And before we get started, I'll say that I'm using two tarot decks. Um, I'm sorry, one tarot deck and two oracle decks. So two cards fell out of each oracle. You can see them in the back there. There's the first two are from the Secret Language of Light oracle, and the second two are from the White Light oracle. And then the cards on the table are from the Psychic Tarot deck, which technically that is also an oracle deck, but we're using it as tarot today. So let's get into the message. So there were 9 cards that fell out, and I kind of grouped them in 3 threes. It's like as they fell out, I mean, as a reader, right? And you work with these cards for a while, you just immediately see a pattern as soon as they pop out. Like, oh, those 3 go together. Those 3 go together. Those 3 go together. So that is why they are grouped that way. So let's start with authority. That's the number 4. In a typical tarot deck, the number 4 is this is a major arcana. This would be considered the Emperor card, the card of Aries. Authority, right? I mean, this guy looks like the boss, because he is. This guy is the counterpart to the Empress. She's, a divine creator, and he is a divine masculine. He is like the Force in Star Wars. Like, he comes to wield balance into situations. And so in this reading, that is his purpose here. He is showing us how we're being asked to be an authority, a force for balance over disruption and mental conflict. These are the same 2 cards that came out for the reading yesterday. Disruption is the Tower in tarot, and mental conflict is the 2 of Swords. And we had these exact 2 cards yesterday. And in fact, we had them side by side, weren't they? Yeah, they were side by side, except I think the 2 of Swords came first and then the Tower followed it. So, same message today, right? We have had a major disruption in our life. We're extremely conflicted about what to do, all up in our heads, all at a, sort of like a stalemate energy, don't know how to move forward. The Emperor's here to shed some authority on that, okay? Because what the message, and here's the message, let's start at the bottom. Love begins is actually the Ace of Cups, right? Aces are always this like culmination of their suit. So, aces, or rather cups, represent like emotions. And what is at the heart of all emotion? It's love. And so I felt like in this reading, this is talking about a self-love. How can we love ourselves? As I believe and this is the heart, right? This is the very center of the entire reading, and I do believe that is the overall energy. And so above it, we see number 6, material and spiritual prosperity. This would be the Six of Pentacles in regular tarot, and the Nine of Pentacles is this material harvest. And so what is this saying? Material and spiritual prosperity just means it's a reciprocal energy. We're here to balance what we give and what we receive. This is the message for today. And the material harvest, which is the Nine of Pentacles, this is where when we can tap into that energy of being able to give and to receive in the physical, what that will end up doing is bringing in a material harvest into our lives through the way that we're able to love ourselves. Okay. And then we see this last grouping, and we had this card yesterday also. This is number 5, Wisdom, which is the Hierophant. It's a major arcana. And the Hierophant, it's the institutions that we look to in our environment. So this can be, actually the Hierophant is the institution of marriage, but it also has to do with all of our religious institutions. It can do now in current days with our corporations, with higher education, and even more broadly with like our own system of capitalism. To be quite honest with you, it can be any guiding framework that we operate out of. So we need to define, okay, how we are going to be strong within this framework that we're working out of. So however this framework relates to your situation in a particular. So spiritual strength is what we would have the Nine of Wands, which also was in yesterday's reading. All these cards, I think, were in yesterday's reading, just in a different configuration. So this is about holding on, staying strong, being able to conserve your physical strength, right? Like this shows a man who is kind of like come a really long way down a path. He's had to endure a lot of hardship. And when you come to the 9, it's like, you know that you're almost at the 10. 10s are that culmination. So 9, we're right there at the doorstep. We have endured a whole lot. But we've also learned a whole lot on this journey. And so when we come to this place, we are right on the cusp of number 17, the Sun, in this deck called Hope. And I think this is the 4th reading that I've had this week with the Sun card. I know that the Sun has been a major player for me personally this week, and I think it has been for many of us. We are heading into spring, just a few weeks away from the vernal equinox, right? And I think that we're just really heading towards a place of strength and hope. I feel like if we can do some of the heavy lifting and the hard work that is presenting itself, that's in front of us, right? With a focus, again, on self-love, all right? And what do we need to do in order to get to that material harvest? What's going to bring us there? And so look at these 2 cards here. We've got number 13, Insight, and number 10, Soulcraft. And actually their messages are pretty similar. Um, Insight is just about how we are really gifted with the ability to just go within to receive guidance. I mean, it's pretty simply, um, if you'll take the time to do that, really all that's required is your disciplined and focused attention on actually quieting yourself and going in for meditation. Um, at this time, it's what's being asked of us. I think that was also the same card we got in a totally different deck yesterday, um, was meditation. And so this is what we're being asked to do right now, because these are gifts that we're given. This is um, we're created to have that divine link to our creator. So however however you call um, however you call on that, so whether it be through prayer or meditation or um, I don't know, casting spells, like whatever your jam, do that, because what we're being further told in this number 10 Soulcraft card is simply that whatever we focus our energy on, that is what we're going to create. Okay, so we really want to take the path of least resistance here. If you are being called to rest, then your inspired action is to rest. If you're being inspired to go out and play, then your divine action is to go out and play. So whatever we focus upon, that is what we're going to manifest, right? That's the law. That's kind of how that works. And so in combination with going within and asking for guidance on how best we can serve ourselves, the